Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the GXC Accelerators. We're really excited to welcome you guys and kick off the Startup Accelerator Week. All right, so let's get started. So, as stated before, the GSC Global Accelerator is a 3-month program to help you really scale your businesses and your ideas. And so, with that said, as entrepreneurs, some of you are very far along in your companies who've been around for a couple of years, found traction, funding, and are doing pretty well. Some of you are in your infant stages. Some of you are freelancers and still trying to figure things out. Our accelerator program, we try to accept companies or potentials and founders with potential at different stages of their businesses, because we do believe that you guys can learn and grow from each other as well. This is why the biggest value proposition of GSC, in addition to the program itself and the speakers that come on, is really you guys, right? I've been monitoring the WhatsApp community threads and the Facebook community threads. You guys are on fire, sharing insights and information, sharing resources, sharing advice, sharing even opportunities to meet up with each other. So it's really nice to see that. Please continue to do that because, like I said, you guys are pretty much a family network as it stands. And so, to give you guys again a brief on who we are, my name again is Christine and Tim. I'm the host for the 2019 Accelerator program. For any alumni that's on the program, they already know this. Once you're part of the Accelerator community, you're pretty much a part of it for life. So even though, let's say next year your company progresses and you want access to the community, you still be able to come through the accelerator program as well. So I wear several different hats, but at GSC, as one of the partners of the GSC company, I manage the accelerators and the summits. Einstein is a managing partner of the Africa Future Fund. He focuses on funding and resources for companies that he invests in across the continent. And so these are two different ways for you guys to connect with us. Welcome you guys to the GSC Digital Accelerator. As a reminder, GSC is the largest accelerator program on the planet, with 1,000 companies a year across 90 countries doing the program. This year, we received companies from 82 different countries. So very diverse group. You guys are already aware of the fact that we work with a lot of different partners. And of course, we have 7 regions that we really try to promote in this program. Some of you are part of the Africa cohort, some of you are part of the Caribbean, but you guys are coming from different countries and different regions. Already told you guys from last week during the accelerator program that the journey of GSC has not been easy. It definitely has been a crazy journey. From the first time during my pregnancy when I learned how to code in 3 weeks, built my first site, and then started off in 2016 with the first cohort with 500 companies. Following year, transitioned into 700 companies, and then to 1,000 companies as of last year. This year as well, we've actually transitioned and have accepted 1,000 companies. Previous speakers and judges, which you'll be meeting with over the course of the entire week, have all different types of backgrounds and expertise, and all of them will come online. Some of them will have video talks, some of them will have PowerPoint talks. So each speaker has their expertise that they will be sharing with you during the course of the week. And of course, as we expanded, many of you who are part of the GSC community have demanded that we continue to engage you guys throughout the year. So now we have digital chapter meetups, all different topics are shared. And of course, I said this last week that we'll share with you opportunities for you to be a chapter leader if you're interested in leading a chapter in your community. So I also want to stress again that not only do we have online accelerator programs, we also run these summits around the world. Some of you are in these countries that we're coming to, so we're excited to meet you guys in person this year. And as we expand to other summits in different regions around the world, hopefully we can continue to have pretty much GSC, what I call family reunions around the world together, so we can catch up and meet up in person. Now, I want to transition now that you have an overview of GSC. Again, that was a very quick recap because last week we already had the orientation. I want to focus now on 2019 announcements and updates because, like I said, you guys are sending us a lot of inquiries and questions and comments about the program. So I just want to clarify a couple of things before we transition into the program. So wanted to again welcome all of you guys to the 4th annual GSC Digital Accelerator for this. So let's talk about Incorporation. Now, for some of you, it's very hard to think about, where do I start to through a corporation process? Some places like the US, you could just go legalzoom.com and incorporate. Some people, it's not that simple. It might cost thousands to do that in person with actual paperwork, go to actual incorporation office. But the point is, once you consider incorporating your company and paying the fee and being able to raise the funds to do that and pay taxes, then you have the opportunity to really think critically about the legitimacy of the company and how to really leverage other perks of being quote unquote incorporated. Because if you're operating under the radar, which is fine in the early stages when you're still trying to figure out your idea, I don't suggest you incorporate your business until you actually have some type of cash flow, where you actually have customers and you actually have a profit. That's my suggestion, because the last thing you want is to pay the money to incorporate, have to pay taxes, and you have no cash flow coming in. It's the worst position to be in. And so make sure that once you're in that position, then you incorporate. And then once you incorporate your business, then you could do certain things like open a business bank account. And we all know that business bank accounts have more perks and resources than personal bank accounts. Not only is it legitimate for your clients to get access to your funds and payments, but it also is a great way to get, really a credit score for your actual business. I'm going to talk about that later on. But also, for those of you who want a phone number, let's say you can't afford to get a separate phone number line, you could use Google Voice for free. I don't know if you guys know this, but if you have a personal number and you want to create a business number for your business, just Google Voice. It will generate a random number for you. So anytime someone calls that number, it's your business line that's being called. So even though it goes to your personal phone number, to the public it's a business number. So that way you look more legitimate. It's something I did before I incorporated, because I wanted to look very legit, and that's what I did. For those of you in the US, you're going to want to create a DUNS number, which is a DUNS profile for your business, simply because you want to have a credit profile. Usually you can't have a credit profile until you have a DUNS number. And so for the American US-based companies, or anyone who wants to base their company in the US, make sure you remember that. Also, anytime you have a vendor, that also can help you with credit relationships, whether you have a credit history or not. Let's say you work with a vendor to buy, resources like pens and paper, or you go to a certain shop to buy stuff for your office. Keep all those receipts and keep like a track of what you do with that monthly. So whether it's your phone service bill, whether it's like your supplies, whether it's like, when you're paying for a branding, like banners and t-shirts and stuff like that, because that also helps your credibility. If you're working with vendors and your vendors could trust that you pay on time for your resources, that helps you with a credit profile. Something that is very, very important that you do that, right? So really, really good. Really, really good that you build those relationships, but you also keep track of that. After several cycles, go for it. Apply for a business credit card. Sometimes in the beginning, you might have to apply for a business credit card with your personal credit score, but it works really well to have a business credit card, because now you start to build a credit history of the business. So that way, over time, even if your personal credit is not up to par for certain things, you can start using your business credit to get access to real capital for your business. Because eventually, you want everything that has to do with your business to go through your business bank accounts and your business credit profile. So really good to do that, to build in that. And finally, I'll say the last thing is, manage everything with a CRM software. So eventually, a lot of companies, we always use spreadsheets to manage everything. Once you have a CRM, you're on to the next level to manage your business. And I highly, highly recommend that you use CRM software to manage your customers, your clients, your payments, your invoices. You don't want to track all of that online, on paper. Because God forbid, if you lose all your paperwork, that's it. That could be like literally your business done. Some of you are aware of that. HubSpot is a partner, so you get free discounted credits for HubSpot to manage your invoices and your marketing. But there are tools like Zoom, I mean, sorry, there are tools like Facebook Workplace, Monday.com. These are American-based organizations, by the way. There's QuickBooks and managing your accounting. Like, definitely leverage these resources. It's so helpful to be able to say that, you don't have to track everything through spreadsheets, that you actually have a CRM to track everything that you're doing. So highly, highly recommend that you have a software activation platform for everything. Of course, your communication like Zoom, Google Hangout, Slack, and stuff like that. But a CRM can make you get more sales because it shows you what each member of your team are doing. Where are you losing money? Are you tracking your payments? Are you paying things on time? All of that is tracked through the software. So highly recommend that you look for CRM software locally or internationally for your business. All right. And so I'll go back by saying, elaborate a little bit more on this, that when I first got started, I didn't know that you could create a business credit profile, and something that I regret, because it wasn't until like 2, 3 years in that when I was applying for like grants, or when I was applying for a line of credit or anything like that, that I realized because I didn't have a business credit profile, I couldn't do it. So I had to build it from scratch. So I'm saying this to you guys now, that we sometimes, as startup founders or business owners, we think small and maybe short term. We don't think about how to build our company so that it could become an enterprise, and each enterprise usually has access to these things. So never forget that, it's really to your advantage and to your credit if you can really try to build a business profile through your bank account, and also through a credit profile over time. Again, each country has different ways of doing this. I know in Haiti or in certain parts of the Caribbean or in Africa, there's not really credit profiles. It's really who knows who. But I do know that you could create a business bank account, and that's usually your credit experience from there. So try your best to be able to do that. It will help you tremendously. And another thing about the software, when it comes to CRM, like, it's really important that when it comes to CRM, that you have a way of really thinking through either the free versions or like the cheaper versions to track everything that you're doing. So that way your team has everything in one place. So that way, God forbid, if someone's off track, you have a way of finding access into critical information about your business to keep moving forward as a company over time. So these are 3 things that I'll summarize again. Incorporation, yes, it's costly, but it leads to these other outcomes that you could get out of it that could benefit your company. Obviously, you have to register to pay taxes, and I know for some people, like, staying on the radar helps. But once you have cash flows, you don't want to lose out on the opportunity to have bigger cash flows, because have like a business bank account, a credit profile, and access to resources to really scale your company with a CRM that could track your business activities. So highly recommend that you do that.